The next story looks at the NCAA clearing a path for paid college athletes. This is super wow, because college, it's been said for the longest time that some of these college students should be able to get some money from the colleges because the colleges make a lot of money on the paraphernalia with that student's jersey and things of that nature. And now the NCAA is coming down the path of getting those students paid. Now, you know what I don't like about that? Because if that's the case, who's going to get the money? The people that go to the bigger name schools. I think that this hurts the smaller colleges who don't get the TV time, who may not get the revenue on the really good students, or the revenue may not be nearly as high for those students in the smaller schools. So I'm looking at it a little differently as well. And then athletes should pay for their own college. Well, you know why there's scholarships and why they pay for these students to go to these schools? Is because they help these schools to win championships in their sports program. So from a sports perspective, that's why the scholarships are given. Just like you can give a student a scholarship from an academic standpoint, why not be able to give these students who may not be able to go to college, all right, because they can't afford to go to college, but they have a skill set that can be useful, and the school sees it and pays for their scholarships. That is the reason behind it. A lot of these kids that are in these schools getting their scholarships paid for won't be able to afford to go to that college. But they have a skill set from a sports perspective that the college sees, and they are willing to pay for that that student's tuition. So Alessandra, that is why if they can't afford to pay, then a lot of these kids wouldn't go to school. They couldn't go to school, which is why the NBA at one time did draft people out of high school. They did it twice. All right, they did it and they did it and then they stopped and they did it again. But that was the reason why these kids couldn't afford to go to school. And you know something? If you've given them an opportunity to make money on the God-given talent that they have, they were getting drafted out of high school. All right, so that's why they don't pay for their own college. But you know something? When you go and draft that kid and you pay for their tuition, and that kid really brings a lot of notoriety to the school, and the school is making a ton of money off of that notoriety, do you not feel that that student should be able to partake on what he is bringing to that school or she is bringing to that school? And it's not just in college basketball. I'm talking about in all college sports. Notice that says the NCAA, not college basketball. So no matter what NCAA organization, whether it's lacrosse, whether it's wrestling, whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball, all right? That's what this is all about, all right? So now you know who gets affected by this? How about Nike and Under Armour and Adidas? So let's go add those stocks, Nike, UAA, and Adidas. So that's the story. Let's see the stocks that are affected by it. Let's go put in NKE, comma, Under Armour. Under Armour is UA. And what was the other one? Adidas. ADDYY. Ooh, ADDYY. Let's peep those out real quick. So these are because these are the people that give sneaker deals to a lot of these students, right? So let's go look at Nike, let's go look at Adidas, and let's go look at Under Armour. Nike, over its value. It's trading at 89, value at 69. Doesn't make it a bad stock, just means that people are willing to pay a premium to own the stock. Adidas, same scenario, even more overvalued. People are willing to pay a premium to own the stock. The stock is really valued at $78. And Under Armour, notice that all three of these stocks are over their value. So because there's a lot of money that's being made in sneaker deals and all of that kind of stuff, people are investing in these stocks, and in order to do so, they're willing to pay a premium. Relative value, the stock's long-term upside potential on Nike is at 1.16. This should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 16% over the next 1 year, 1 to 3 years. Adidas and Under Armour don't have that same luxury. These stocks will underperform a AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years. So long term, I may not want to hold these stocks. Relative safety, above the value of 1.44 on Nike, this stock has a high probability of meeting or exceeding earnings expectations quarter over quarter, year over year, whereas Adidas does as well. It is above 1. Under Armour, not so much. All right, so I'm looking at the fundamentals on Under Armour, not nearly as good as what we have with Nike. Nike overall is the overall leader in this field by way of our, not really. If I'm looking at the, there we go, by VST, the overall ranking of the stock, VST, Nike is the leader out of all three of these. This is a stock that has a higher VST compared to Adidas and Under Armour. None of them are buy recommendations right now. How about Adidas? They have positive earnings, but something's going on in the company. They're growing their earnings at a negative clip. Whereas Under Armour, even though the fundamentals are not there, they're making money. They are making money, and with Nike, they are also making money, growing their earnings at a clip of 13% a year. Let's right-click, view with the stock graphs. Nike nicely was moving higher, put it on a 3-month graph. Nicely was moving higher, currently below the 20-day exponential for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight days. We had a little bit of a rebound yesterday, but more follow through to the downside right now. So Nike overall good stock, not the right time to be in it. Love the earnings per share, and the volume is pretty steady, but currently not the right time to be in Nike. I'd really like to see it above that 20-day, and look at that. When it's above it, even when it pulls back but stays above it, it keeps you in that stock with the higher probability that it will continue to rise. Currently below, I'm not saying that it's the right time to get into the stock, but it's a good overall stock. Wait for your opportunity. Let the trade come to you. Let's go to Adidas. Man, a lot flatter. Not really super duperly moving higher. It's been a hold recommendation for all 3 months. Watch earnings. And the stock is currently above the 20-day exponential moving average, but pulling closer back towards it. Watch the volume. Volume is pulling back. Volume is conviction. If I'm watching a stock's price rise, I want to see rising volume as well. And the last stock in this group of stocks is Under Armour, sort of just like Adidas, doing a little bit of sideways move overall. But as these schools, or as the NCAA is going through this process, these stocks may be a big recipient of nice upward moves going forward. So these are stocks to definitely keep your eyes on. The only one that's got an R, none of them are above. Actually, Adidas is above the 20-day exponential moving average, but pulling back with the down day today. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.